Okay, 3 packages. The first one isn't anime, so let's go ahead and open this right now. It should be Inside Out, which I have not seen yet, so a Blu-ray DVD should be my chance to see it. Let's see, other non-anime thing that arrived is the Return of Jafar. Now you can kind of see there's 2 copies here. This is going to show you, see this shiny one? This is actually a bootleg. And it's kind of hard to tell because, you know, the shiny of course makes it look good, and it's got this nice cover, and then underneath that they look the same. Really, it came down to, it says right there it's region 1, and according to my DVD drive, this is region 1, this is region free. And the region free one also looked like something or the other. Oh well, anyways. Oh god, that feels a little full. Let's cut it open very carefully, making sure to avoid any major arteries because, you know, I kind of use those things to watch anime. I think it's probably enough. It's probably gonna pop right open. So right off the bat we've got cards. This is probably a couple receipts. Oh, I know why there's so many cards, because I think this is a combination of 2 orders. The special, the movie. Yeah. Then these. Let's put these here. Let's put those there. Open this box. This is actually not too shabby date, is it? And we're gonna throw this on top. More like drop it on top, but this would be I'm wondering if we can find a 4 on here. This is volume 4 of Code Geass Akito the Exiled, episode 4. It came out, and it arrived, and it is here. Hooray for us. Let's see. I see. So, because this is flimsy like that, that means I'm going to put it back into the bag. So I'll set that aside. Let's see. This is a cover. Was the 3rd one like this? Akito the Exiled. Person. People, stuff. Now, I'm kind of assuming they're still English subbed. I haven't checked the 3rd or the 4th one. They've both been sitting around. Well, 4th has only been sitting around since it arrived sometime within the last week. The 3rd one's been sitting around since whenever I last updated. And I guess I need to monitor for that 5th and final one, which I think comes out sometime next year, and so I don't have to worry about it this year. Don't even know what most of this stuff is. So here, this slip cover with interesting Code Geass artwork on it also had a booklet in it. Don't want to look too closely because I don't know what's spoiler, what's not spoiler. And then this, which was sandwiched on top of it, came with these cards. I was going to say these characters look familiar, like maybe they were Code Geass non-Akito the Exiled characters, except now I realize I recognize all of them as Akito the Exiled characters. Oh well. So, that arrived. I don't remember the first 2 volumes super clearly, just little things here and there. I think actually, I'm wondering if I actually remember the first movie pretty well. And I would really only need to rewatch the second movie, and I might remember the second movie just from a single rewatch. So let's start making a pile here. This one is a Umi Monogatari, which is not related to the other Monogatari stuff. Looks good. And I think people have still talked very positively about this. I think it's if it's good in a different way from let's see, who released this? Ah, Nozomi. So okay, I was wondering, did Sentai release this and I missed the Blu-ray and somebody's gonna point it out to me? But no, if Right Stuff released this themselves, then it's not gonna happen. Hard to tell what to think from the cover alone. I'm pretty sure reading the back here would give me some thoughts. Just double checking to make sure I don't see anything saying it's dubbed. Let's grab both of these. Glasslip. Now I think about it, I do think people were talking about it. I just can't remember if it was good things or bad things. Sometimes it can be a bit of a mix. Like when some people talk about it, something to say good things, somebody else who didn't like it comes to say bad things. I felt the plastic separate there, so yeah. This one, this time, opened up without the help of the thing. Any of the things. Alright, so first of all, Region A, subtitle only. I think we generally look at the DVD version first because it has more discs. This one has 3 discs. So let's leave it here because normally the Blu-ray version has the same first disc artwork and then a second disc which is the same as the second disc in this case. Sometimes it's the same as the third. It's interesting to check. Let's see, that says complete collection, so I'm guessing I'm not seeing anything else. So what's next? Confusing things. A bunch of kind of isolated things. So first of all, we've got I guess we've got Hidamari Sketch X Honeycomb, which I do believe is season 4. Is that a new season? I'm pretty sure this is something I don't have. Sentai did start releasing Blu-ray versions of some of this stuff, didn't they? Did they get through all of it? I didn't miss one for this, did I? Next up, we've got Return of Gundam movie collection. What does it say? I, Earth, Light. No, that's 1. Earth, Light. 2. Moon, Butterfly. Okay. So I guess it's a 2-movie collection. Just still a collection. Right Stuff released. Yeah, they were releasing that stuff, weren't they? I wonder how sequel-y these are, or are they recaps? Oh shoot, I put that away, and I still have the sticker up here. Earth Light. Moon Butterfly. Pretty straightforward. This is Mobile Suit Gundam, the first one, Collection 1, on Blu-ray. Who's releasing this? Sunrise and Right Stuff. I was thinking that because I saw the sticker up here. Darn it. Well, I guess there's nothing there. Plastic's a little hard, but thumbnail's a little... I guess it's not really long, is it? But not super short. But the plastic was a little harder, so I'm surprised it actually eventually gave way. Now, I think there's also a companion DVD collection release going on with it. I don't think I need to pick anything up. I've got a couple old Gundam releases already. The only question is really if that one episode they don't want to release gets put on here or not. Which reminds me, I was talking about the Sailor Moon episode that hadn't been released here on DVD before because the ADV Uncut Collection didn't have it. That one was actually in Sailor Moon Season 2 Part 1. Next up, we've got Aldnoah.Zero Volume 2 DVD and Blu-ray versions. Alright, here we go. Let's I can feel it separated, just needing to find where the plastic went so I can start ripping it off like this. So this is a pretty stereotypical. It feels, I think we sometimes get stronger cases in this, but this is a one volume release from Aniplex, which of course means it costs an arm and a leg, but structurally is whatever the hell it is. Oh, I recognize that artwork. I didn't even watch the first volume, so I guess I don't have much to comment on. Got, of course, proof of purchase, questionnaire, and the booklet, which appears to be very upside down. Maybe if I did it like this, we'd actually see brief glimpses of mechas. And then the DVD version, I don't know. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not. And I don't remember the first volume enough to say either way. So we've got our disc 1 and 2. It looks like a reversible cover. We have our proof of purchase thing, and then a simple one-page insert. Basic. I think it's okay. I mean, it really depends whether or not it's overpriced or something like that. And then we got Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan, the movie and the special, which there's a part of me that would be hopeful that this is kind of the revival of Detective Conan stuff, but I know it's actually this is actually just more of Eastern Star mopping up all the Lupin the Third stuff. And who knows, maybe these aren't going to be all that great, but I definitely want to see them because it's a potentially amusing crossover. It could be spectacular, it could be bad. I'm trying to think, either way there's balls involved. Either it's hella fucking balls to the wall awesome, or it just sucks balls. I don't know. Weird language. I'm just thinking of the Onion video about the Supreme Court justices. Whoa. Well, now I'll stick her up here. Now, of course, these are Japanese with English subtitles, or at least this special is. Pretty sure if I take a peek at the back of the movie, hopefully that's the same. Looks like a piece did not come off. Yeah, I can feel it right there. Come on, piece. Just one piece. It's Gold Rogers treasure. Gold D. Rogers. Sorry. Yeah, this one's Japanese with English subtitles. I think that's expected. And what to make of the insides, the backs. It's actually kind of pretty. And that seems rather ominous. In fact, so ominous that it's kind of hard to see because it's reflecting everything. Now, if only I can get this. There we go. And I guess before we finish up, we should probably take a peek at the right stuff insert. So it's just a simple card, Vampire Hunter D. That's not Bloodlust, that's a D. Then we've got Beyond the Boundary. We picked it, we packed it, sent it on its way. Alright, well, that's this week's anime DVD collection update. So to start with, I finished off Yakutate Japan. I think it was worth it. I could definitely... I think I was getting a feel for why the third season just felt so repetitive. Because it was more or less... Oh, we're supposed to go to this place and make bread. Oh, well, I'll just make it out of this and this. And oh, it's the best thing ever. It kind of loses something because of that, and because it becomes solely about the reactions. It's not unwatchable, and it's got its amusing moments still. The second to the last episode was a very, very surprising parody, I guess? Is that the right word? Oh well. So, it was a nice treat, and then you got the last episode, and the last episode was actually a very satisfactory way to end the series. You know, not... It didn't feel like every single loose end ever had been completely wrapped up, but it felt like a good finale. A good way to end the series. So, my friend and I watched One Piece Season 7 Voyage 3. I think last time I had mentioned that it had started getting a little weird, but it was very interesting and kind of different. So this, of course, was a continuation of that, as that became interesting, revealed some interesting things, and kind of pulled some good One Piece moments in there. It seems to be building up, and I know after the next volume, you know, Season 7 Voyage 4, finally surpassed the episode that aired just before Strong World hit theaters. And so I don't know how canonical it is, but I basically go under the assumption with long-running shows like this, which have movies like that, that's the safest point to watch it. Where if they spoil anything in the movie, then somebody who went to the theaters to watch it the day it aired was similarly spoiled. So I kind of feel like if that spoils, it's okay to spoil. If it doesn't spoil, it's because the timing was just right. All the things they've started introducing about the characters, especially the stuff that they're starting to introduce now in the 7th season at this point, you know, all of that's fair game in the movie, so I don't have to worry too much about some spoilers. It's sort of like, I don't know, I guess some of the Dragon Ball Z movies, for example, you could probably watch and pick up that the characters are going to go through certain changes, I guess, and you'll kind of know what those are. I'm trying to keep in mind that some of y'all maybe have not seen it, maybe know of its reputation, may or may not watch it, whatever. But it's... yeah, that's basically how I play it. I'm glad to be able to watch it because I think people talked very positively about Strong World. So I'm glad to finally be kind of close to being able to see it. Although I haven't seen when the next DVD's coming out, so it might not be quite on my radar yet. I watched all of Black Bullet. I've been not making that mistake, but getting close all week. So of course I made it when I'm on camera. And I thought it was pretty good. I'd say if I were to give a big criticism to it, it's that it feels like there should be more of it. Like, this is a kind of anime that would be really well suited for being maybe 24 episodes long. You know, twice the length of what we got here. But what we did get was actually kind of neat. Now, action-wise, I'm not sure what to think entirely about it, because it's nice that it kind of kept all the characters relevant in certain ways. But when I think about it, I kind of think more about, they put a lot of attention to details in the animation in the very first episode, you know, and even beyond that, the characters feel very animated. And I think it's all part of kind of a conspiracy. I don't know if conspiracy is the right word, but it's all part of everything in the anime working for basically you wanting to have sympathy for these 10-year-old girls. And I don't want to talk too much detail why I'm saying specifically 10-year-old girls, because there's a pretty good reason for that given within the context of the show itself. But it kind of reminded me of a YouTube video that I also watched the day that I started watching this, and that was one that, in the YouTube video, they basically took cat haters and gave them a box of kittens. And, you know, of course, there's weird psychology involved there, but overall, you know, despite whatever your feelings are, you know, you can kind of tell that there's a little bit of heartstring being tugged on there, and I think this anime was really going for that, and I think it actually did it in a pretty good way, because, you know, there's some human suffering involved, and it's really easy for a show to go kind of overboard in that regard. And I'm gonna reference Elfen Lied as an example, where, like, you got one character's backstory, and kind of in order to make a turnover point, they had to create 3 boys who didn't act very boy-like, I guess. They were just, like, over-the-top, super evil characters just for the sake of us saying, okay, well, that's why this character gave up on humanity. Probably another similar example is revealed early on in Angel Beats. It kind of felt like, I think the Haruhi Suzumiya-like girl was named Yuri, I think. And her backstory felt a little over the top. Like, ridiculous comic book villains for the sake of ridiculous comic book villains. And so, you kind of have, a lot of shows like to kind of go down that route. But then some shows kind of make you feel like, yeah, that's alarmingly close to how some people currently feel about some of the stuff. And I told you that this anime kind of tugs on your heartstrings, but you kind of understand why it tugs on your heartstrings, but not necessarily people and characters within the universe itself, and it makes it feel more real. It doesn't make it feel actually real, but it makes it feel more real, helps you develop real sympathy for these characters, because you kind of start understanding where they're coming from, why they are the way they are, and, you know, wishing you could do help, but knowing that, yeah, it's just an anime, so it's all good. And I talk about it maybe being good for a 24-episode series because it has really good pacing, such that it could probably keep us entertained for at least another season, you know, if this was one season. As far as I can tell, there was nothing else announced, no season 2. I don't know if that's because there's not enough manga material or what, and if it's because there's not enough manga material and it just takes that long to make sure what goes on after this is good quality, that's okay with me. But I'm not sure that I necessarily felt completely fulfilled by the end of it as well. And given the kind of setup they had here, it doesn't feel like it's the sort of thing that's easy to resolve in a thoroughly satisfactory way with only 12 or 13 episodes. I mean, consider Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. How many episodes there went into just the ending and winding everything down and tying up all the remaining loose ends and leaving you feeling so fulfilled for having watched the whole thing. I sometimes forget that there's actually multiple episodes in that, and for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, that was really well done. And this obviously is not that long. Maybe it could even be that long. I'm not sure. It really depends what they did with it after this point. But, you know, it kind of leaves you... I enjoyed what I saw. I feel a lot more sympathy for these characters than I normally feel. This show does a real good job of that, and I want to see what happens. But, yeah, what you have. I thought it was a good watch. Now, after I finished Black Bullet, I actually started working on the piles of anime that have been over here. In particular, there had been some stuff I had ripped onto my DVD server that I wanted to put on my streaming server in case I wanted to poke around or show friends certain anime, right? You know, some of them are really big. Some of them are just things that I want to put on there in case I want to. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh gosh. That one's, I've got to figure out what to do with the old JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff and how I'm going to label and call it, blah, blah. So, I decided not to think too much about what I was going to watch next. And I went with this one because it was on the top of the pile back there. Attractive bathing suits. And just to see what it is finally. It's a bit of a mix. And I guess what I mean by that, there are some genuinely amusing moments that crop up. But I don't know, she's the only character that hasn't really made me roll my eyes. She's been amusing. Every other character, it's sort of like they have their quirks and then they have their quirks overdone. Like, she's supposed to be your very basic girl, and I can't really respect somebody who's like, oh, men might have porn? Ugh. And she's kind of like too naive. Detached from the world. She can't even think about it that, you know, there's not really anything wrong with that. And of course, you know, it's not like there's a problem with the girls. I said all the characters have kind of, well, no, I guess the assistant manager's been amusing. She feels like she exists slightly outside of the show itself. Like, I don't know. And like him, you know, sometimes you kind of want to be sympathetic for him, and I guess that plays really well because the characters act in the exact same way. You want to be sympathetic to him, but then he does something nonsensical and over the top. And sometimes it's really funny, and sometimes it's really, why would you even do that? I don't know. These are just examples. It's not unwatchable, but it hits on some of the tropes that make me just roll my eyes and say, whatever. And it's not quite over the threshold such that I would call it definitely bad in that regard, but it's pushing its luck a little bit. It probably won't cross over that boundary, so I'll probably be able to finish it without too much problem, and there may be more amusing scenes that come up. Like that one was actually really amusing. And it only works because of the personalities of these characters involved. But, I don't know. Beyond that, I'm not sure there's really much to talk about. Again, I'm a bit slowed down because I'm putting things on my streaming service so that I can easily re-access them if I want to. For example, one thing that's created a lot of delays is I put No Game No Life on there, and it's been a couple complete episodes completely watched. Especially the Word Chain game. That one was spectacular. But beyond that, yeah, I don't know. One thing that is kind of notable, it looks like Ladies vs. Butlers finally shipped. The DVD version shipped from Right Stuff, and I think it looked... I think, you know, that one's been on the back burner for a long time, and it finally got released DVD version, and I pre-ordered that from Right Stuff a long time ago when I wasn't quite sure if it was actually going to come out in the next month or whatnot, but as long as that pre-orders remained there, it'd been okay. And then the Blu-ray pre-order also came around, and for that one I decided to go with Amazon because it was on Amazon, and my thought there was, you know, it's better not to put all my eggs in one basket. I have things spread out a little bit more so that if Amazon gets stock of the Blu-ray, I get the Blu-ray. If Right Stuff gets the DVD, it gets the DVD. Now, I don't know what to make of all this because Right Stuff seems to believe that today is the release date for the DVD and the Blu-ray, whereas I think Amazon still thinks that's February next year that the Blu-ray is coming out, which means I'm watching the Right Stuff Blu-ray for Ladies vs. Butlers closely because I might switch my order over to that. But I don't want to do that while Right Stuff says it is out of stock. So I'm not quite sure what to make of the DVD version shipping, because that one also says it's out of stock. Maybe it means that just a little bit came in and my order got fulfilled and I'm lucky, sort of like with the Tokyo Ghoul Collector's Edition. Ooh. I don't know. Beyond that, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot to talk about. Obviously, I'm going to get delayed a little bit with my anime watching this week because Inside Out came out. Oh, and then there was a Starmate update because they're now going back to those every other week updates, I guess. I can't catch up on anything, so yeah, I guess I'm going to get to it. Y'all, have a nice evening, a nice week.